Greg Dang from Maximum PC here at E3 2014. I'm here checking out Star Citizen, and I'm actually here speaking with the creator of the game, I guess the lead, Chris Roberts.
Hey, how you doing?
And Chris, we actually have it right here behind us, and for the game actually raised an unprecedented amount of money on Kickstarter type websites.
Yeah, well, crowdfunding actually mostly on our site and then a little bit on Kickstarter, but yeah, I think we're at almost $46 million now, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, so Star Citizen, I mean, I don't know if in the past I've made games like the Wing Commander series and Privateer and Star Lancer and Freelancer, so a lot of space games. I like space. So I took a break from the industry for a while, but I came back, and Star Citizen was the game that I wanted to make, and I sort of decided I wanted to do it on PC. I didn't want to do it on console, and at the time I sort of came back, everyone was very console centric and pretty down on the PC, and I just sort of felt as a PC gamer that there were people like me out there that had like to build their own machines and put the fastest graphics card in. So very happy to be talking about Microsoft PC right now. I check it out all the time.
Oh, awesome.
But I sort of felt like people didn't have a game that I anyway felt like I wanted a game that really pushed the PC. Plus, I miss space games, space sims, and so that was kind of the gestation. I had discussions with publishers, but I sort of felt, I sort of feel like this is potentially could be something that would be receptive on a crowd basis, and we kicked off a crowdfunding campaign in October of 2012, and sort of the rest is history. I mean, the response was unprecedented, which was awesome. So anyone out there, thank you so much for helping back the game. But essentially, it's sort of that dream. The game is about space and flying around, and you can go anywhere. So you can start on a planet, get a mission or buy or sell goods, get in your ship. It's full first-person 3D, high-end, fidelity, and then take off, fly around space. And right now, we're actually chatting with our AI program, which is flying the 300i, which is sort of this sleek BMW style ship, there's lots of different ships you can fly, but this is in the Arena Commander module, which is essentially a in-fiction dogfight simulation in the world. So kind of the idea is when you if you want to test out your skills and everything, you would actually go into your hangar and you can get into your ship and then start up the simulation, which is what we're doing here in Arena Commander. It allows you to fly and test your combat skills without risk losing your ship, and you can restart pretty quickly. Because in the real full game, the big universe you go around, there's investment in your ship and the hull and the goods, and if you lose it, you get tracked back to the nearest closest planet, and then you have to start it again. So Arena Commander is a great way to test it. Right now, Chad's playing Vandal Swarm, which is the Vandal, sort of the sort of alien race that are the big threat to humanity, and there's sort of waves of them, and he's testing his dogfighting skills against them. But the game's built to really push PC and rendering. I mean, we're throwing millions of polys. We're using a rendering technique called physically based rendering or shading, which is much more realistic if you sort of look at how the light interacts with objects and ships and stuff. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the game is looking beautiful, and it actually looks like it's going to take advantage of high-end graphics cards out there.
Advantage of high-end graphics cards.
I think a lot of developers would kind of shy away from making a game that's so taxing and so demanding. Was that something that you were afraid of too? With that?
No. I mean, my history with games like the Wing Commander are quite well known for people having to upgrade their machine, or get a CD-ROM, or get a sound card. So I sort of embraced my identity, as it were, and said, no, I really want to make a game that pushes it. And, so I mean, part of one of the challenges actually has been getting, say, the artists to no, don't worry, just do more polys, it's fine. And also this game, we're very early, right? So the game is still 18 months, 2 years out from having all the functionality there. So essentially right now, we're giving pieces of it as we develop it. So crowdfunded is the sort of community spirit. We want to sort of share the development as we go, get the input from the community. And so it's early days now. So we sort of right now are designing for currently high-end spec, but by the time the game's finished, that won't be high-end, that'll be a mid-range spec. So we're deliberately doing it so it's sort of future-proof.
So how far do you think out the game is from launch?
Well, it's sort of hard, it's kind of hard to give specific dates because there's so much stuff that has happened. I mean, this is sort of the first sort of beachhead of the flying around in space and shooting. Then the stuff on the planet. There's a whole first-person combat shooting area of it. So we're going to be showing that later this year. The beginning of next year will be the planet-side stuff. And then it all gets tied together in a big system universe you go. So we'll be probably having sort of the early versions of that next year that people can play around in, and then that will just get more and more polish and content and features completed, and then at some point we'll say, okay, it's done. But most of the functionality of the base game will be available to all the backers towards the end of next year. But they're all playing it as they're going along. That's the whole idea, is to sort of, even you're not waiting for something to get finished. There's always stuff for you to do and give feedback on, which is kind of cool.
Is it a persistent world like an MMO, or is it?
No. So the final game will be a complete persistent world where millions or thousands or whatever and other players live inside, along with a very active AI population. So a dynamic economy. So events will happen, like players will do things that will affect the economy, and they'll all ripple around the universe. So it's a pretty ambitious sort of sandbox simulation that we're going for in the final game. And all that stuff is actually being developed in parallel right now. So we're just showing the spaceflight combat part of it, but all the other aspects are also getting built. There's 5 main studios working on the different aspects of the game. So
is it going to be a subscription-based game?
No, it's not subscription. So basically, it's much more like the Guild Wars 2 model. You have to buy your initial ship package, and from then on, it's free. So in the actual game, you would you buy your package, and then you would make money and upgrade your ship, get a new ship, go around, and go from there.
Is there an ultimate goal of the game? Is it just exploration? Is it combat?
No, there isn't really an ultimate goal. It's meant to be sort of like life in some way. So I think the ultimate goal will be dependent on who the person playing it is. So we're not building it to get to a certain level. There's no leveling in it, right? So it's not like a traditional MMO. And then also there isn't something where you defeat an ultimate bad guy and that's it. So the way we're building it is there will be stuff to do depending on what you like. If you're a trader and you just want to trade stuff, you can do that. If you like to dogfight, and you can be a mercenary or a bounty hunter, and you can work on being the best mercenary or dogfighter out there. If you want to be a pirate, you can be a pirate. So it's sort of like what you want to do in a sort of open world, and then we'll sort of curate the world as it goes along, sort of in a game master manner, where we'll be adding events and stuff for people to be doing, but we're also making it so the players themselves can create a lot of the drama and in the actual game itself. So for them, I think if we did a lot of scripted stuff, we could never keep up with all the players. So the idea is to make a sandbox. It's very systematic, like it's got a lot of systems that will adapt and respond to what the players do, and then let the players do various things and have fun, and then we occasionally, as sort of the overlords of the universe, will tweak or change things to make a natural disaster over here or create an invasion over here, and then players can move and react with it.
Cool, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the game will support the Oculus Rift?
Oh yeah, no, it supports Oculus Rift right now, so we're going to support Oculus Rift, Track AR, I mean basically any sort of like fun, cool, high-end PC peripheral we're into. So, it should be a showcase for a lot of that kind of stuff.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Chris. I'm definitely looking forward to the game.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you so much.